everyone, welcome to my channel. I haven't been able to do a video for a while, but I want to do another challenge video for the Artful Crafts Junk Journaling group. This month we're doing a theme of like page edges and borders, and I just really like making stuff by hand. Is my, I don't know, it's the part that gives me the satisfaction, I guess. I'm going to try to link this in the, link my inspiration in the description for this video, but I saw a picture on Pinterest. There's no tutorial, but somebody made their own film strip border. It wasn't just a film strip border, it was a collage, and I thought that would make a, it really could be, honestly, could be used as a belly band, I think, if you have a backing on it. Or something more significant, you know, substantial in weight. But I'm looking at it as a page border for mine. So I've thought about this. I've been thinking about this for like a month, I swear, trying to figure out how to do it. And so, there are so many ideas floating around in my head. Now, I think with them, they just took a strip of paper. Like, I'm between journals and I don't have the embellishments I need for the themes that I'm currently looking at. So I'm going to try this just to give you an idea, but I will link the actual image that I found in the description. But they took a strip, and then they punched their holes in it. So I think it looked like they use a standard film strip die. Mine is not standard. I like distressed and grungy. So I have these, but I also looked at, and I saw some other videos on YouTube, some different ways to make your own. Oh, I know. She was showing how to make your own edges like you have pulled out something out of a spiral notebook, which I like that idea too, because I usually can't hang on to those edges when I tear my pages out. But I kept thinking that would also be good as a mock film strip border. Anyway, the girl used just a plain one, had nice straight edges, and she made a bunch of these, and then she did all her collage work, and she just stitched them together, and I thought that was a great idea. I don't know that I'm going to do that on this particular one because this is a wonky thing and it's not really the straight up edge. I could try to clean that up and do that concept, but anyway, I cut some of these in advance. But I came up with some other ideas, and of course, if you don't have the punches, that's probably going to be an issue, but I got this. It's really for stitching, to make a stitched edge, but I think that it is somewhat similar to doing a film strip border. So I got some stuff like this to play around with. Because to me, this is very similar, and it's nice and neat. And perfect. So that was one idea. And I was messing around with this. This was with the dies. I use this die because really it's just a look. It doesn't have to be a film strip. It could just be a cool border like this. It's just kind of the illusion. I like the fact that I make it by hand, and it looks neat. Okay, I didn't get that to go all the way through. Oh, there it went. Okay. Oh, look, it's kind of imperfect, just like it came out of a real notebook. Anyway, I'd have to practice a little bit to get this to go all the way down. I think I have to line these up. I feel like that's going to make a gap. Let me try it here. Anyway, so that was another, yeah, okay, there it is. So that's another idea I had, was just to use a border punch for like a spiral notebook and do each side. That was one way. So I got this one, I got this one. Oh, and I got this one too by Fiskars. These holes are smaller, and I believe that's what I did on this one. I felt like these were a little bit small, but the concept is similar. And then I bought a brand new punch, and I cannot find it. But I got this one because honestly, I don't use these anymore. I have a long arm reach punch because mostly I'm making holes for eyelids. So I bought this one so I can mimic stuff like this on a smaller scale. And I also got one that makes square holes so that I could try to do my own of these. And I can't find the square one. I will find it eventually. But for this one, you just reach in as far as you can go so you can keep it somewhat consistent and just keep going down and punching your holes. So like this one would be a round hole as opposed to the square, but I think it's neat. But anyway, you can do that along both sides of your strip, and then if you don't want an edge of this wide, you can always trim it down afterwards. But I think you have to go all the way in with it to make sure that you're getting them at least somewhat consistent height-wise. But I was like, man, how easy is that? So anyway, that was one idea. The other option I had, and I do have the stamps, but I got to limit my materials here, was I thought about just taking a Filmstrip rubber stamp and stamping them. But basically all you do is make your edge. So I want mine to be the edge of the page, but I want to stick off the page. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something like this. And then I'm going to mount it on... I'm going to mount it on a wider piece of something that I can have hanging over the edge like a tab. So I'm probably going to use this one for mine. But basically you start out by just rubber stamping a background. So let me get some stuff out and then I'll get started on this. I'm going to try this. So I got this out. I have jelly prints. I don't know what it is. I like the grid that I got on this, so I'm thinking about, because one of the books I want to do is grungy, but a little bit mixed media, and so I was thinking about trying this. So I took the, I don't know, the stitching die or punch, wherever that is, and I went down the sides. I'm sure these are not lined up across the row, but I'm just going to try not to look that close. I'm very detail oriented, so this is a stretch for me not to notice those details. But it's just a border, so I think this will be fine. I will probably decal the edges of this when I get this done here. I'm going to have to use darker ink on this because this is a little bit darker, but I was thinking for this one, I found this stamp. All right, I just stamped it with sage or whatever that bundled sage is, and it's probably not going to work on this particular background. And actually, I'm going to trade it out. I don't want to do dark black for this because I want this to be more of an underlayer. Oh, well, that was dirty. So I'm going to try this gathered twigs. I don't usually actually stamp with my Distress ink, to be honest, but once in a while I'll try it. So I'm just going to do this and go down the edge of this thing. I think on this, oh yeah, this is the one I'm probably going to try the die cuts I have, but I'm just, ooh, okay, that was lighter than I was hoping. I might have to stand up for this. Although I do have some staining. I don't know. I guess I'm getting texture, but that's about all I'm getting. When I tried the bundled sage down here, I got nice definition, but I'm not getting definition with this. But you know what? I use gathered twigs all the time, so maybe it's starting to lighten up on me. Let me try a different color. Mahogany. My cap cracked like as soon as I got it, so I've been hinging it on with tape. Not awesome, but it seems to work. Okay, I can see ink on this one, so I'll bet you my gathered twig is starting to get a little bit too light for this stuff to use as an actual stamp. So let me try this. Oh, that's much better. if I get really desperate, I can use outside, I guess. Okay. My intent is not necessarily to do the same thing all the way down on this, but this is an underlayer, so I think this will be fine. Okay. All right. It's grungy. Okay. Got that. This back on. Okay. Now I want to, and this one was a little bit torn. I got my blocks out, but I don't know if I want to use the blocks because the windows are going to be small and I do want variation. So I think I'm going to just do the cheat where you leave it on the backing and just press down with rubber stamp. So this one I will use black. Now this black, I should test it first. I've been using this to edge things, and it's probably not very strong anymore, I'm betting. Let me just try it on here first. Let me try this one. Oh, this one might be worse, actually. Let me see what this one looks like. I think it's slightly better. Okay. All right, I'll try this one. Okay, so I'm just going to go down and put some, and I think these are from AliExpress or either Temu or AliExpress. Okay, here's my problem. I don't know where I put the ink. I feel like it's over here. I kind of like these stamps because they're already kind of varied. Oh yeah, that one's better there. Might go across here because it looks like I didn't get much anyway. Okay, of course, I don't know which way is up. I think this is the side with the ink. Yeah, I didn't even get any ink. Let me test this one. This is one I think I also have to stand up on. Oh, there, I got some that time. Okay. There. Okay, I got it. Okay, I have a feeling that word was upside down. I wanted that, and then I think it's like a bunch of mathematical equations or something. It just looked like a kind of a sciencey background. My problem is when I do this, I'm not necessarily trying to ink the whole thing. And I cannot tell where my ink is sometimes. All right. Oh, and then I'll try the XOXO here. I don't need this much, but I'm just messing around. Okay, I got that. Now I'm going to try to... Oh, yeah. I feel like this... Okay, I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes. I'm one of those people that's very radical about wanting all my numbers and text right side up. Really, this should have the one that I saw on Pinterest. They had a much lighter background than this. I'm just kind of using things because this looks like something I might want to use in my grungy journal. That's what I'm kind of thinking, which isn't started. I'm just kind of working on elements for it. This might not be an awesome glue job. this stuff tends to stick in the holes. See if I can clean this up a little bit. Yeah, I definitely got glue on top here. All right. Their example, they don't even have the lines in here. That's why I think it's more like the illusion of a film strip. Okay, let me press this down. Then my idea for this is going to be to mount this on a stiffer cardstock that I can lap over the edge of my book. All right, now the next part is decorating this a little bit, and that's where you need some really small die cuts, stickers, collage bits. Actually, I have something else I was thinking about. I'm addicted to vintage text. Here's a little piece. And this is the part where you have to figure out, do you want things in the holes? Do you want it overlapping? I don't like being restricted, and I think it's just a look. That's going to be different, I think. Let me glue this down. This one's more experimental to see if I like this particular method or not, I guess. The other option I could have did is I could have went ahead and glued these bits and then put my frame on top. I'm just kind of sort of figuring this out as I go along right now. Because really, I just want it to look like a collage strip. Okay. Now, one idea I had was to use postage stamps as a focal on some of these, but this postage stamp that laying on the desk is kind of big. So I don't know if that one's going to work or not. Oops, I got something. Whoops. Oh yeah, I have an art journal I had started because I'm more mixed media, to be honest, but it was one of the very first classes I ever took, and we were supposed to do an altered book where we cut window frames in every single page in the book, and then we made a little piece of art to suspend in the frame. And I struggled, and I set that book down for 10, I kid you not, almost 10 years before I ever picked it up. And then I finally realized I'm more asymmetrical and outside the box. So I consider frames and boundaries suggestions. I just don't do well keeping inside the box on things. So almost everything I do with a frame is going to be outside the, extending out one side or the other. Then it feels normal to me. All right, now I can't find my gathered twigs again. Here we go, gathered twigs. I'll try this one. That should be enough. I just want to age this part a little bit. All right, I'm not minding it. I don't know if this will have much effect because this is just, well, some stays on and some distress ink, I guess. I'm just going to try to spritz it a little bit. So I dried that, and now I do have some neat speckles. Of course, the heat is making this frame warp a little bit now, so I'm going to have to spot glue under some sections here. Okay, my lesson is that spritzing this with water was a bad idea. The paper's real thin and it warps, and of course this has been dyed already, but I would have been better if I would have spritzed it before I glued this down. But I was really doing it because I wanted to get water spots on these. So anyway, we'll call that lesson learned. I got out some little teeny, I don't have a lot of super tiny ephemera, or if I do, it's buried in the bottom of my containers, but I got out a smaller postage stamp. I feel like this one's going to be too big. The example she did had a little teeny tiny butterfly that I thought was so cute, and I'm not actually sure I have anything that tiny, but I do have this little postage stamp, and I like that color a lot. And then I found this, so this is too big, of course, but I'm thinking about using maybe this much. So basically it's just a matter of finding out what you like and then collaging it down. So of course I'm an edger, so I'm going to edge these things. Although I don't know if I'm going to get enough. I'm used to doing direct to paper because I really like outlines. Okay. Okay, let me try this one now. Okay, got that. Again, I can't stand this. I can't stand the frames. Okay. Yeah, this will definitely be my grungy journal because it's not going to have a real color theme. And I don't have enough glue under here, so I'll have to get out my Fabri-Tac again. Do that, and then I think I have to try to roll some glue off of here. Do that. I just will put Fabri-Tac on this one right away because this one's a little bit stiffer cardstock, and I just don't see glue stick holding it well. Alright, bone folder's not going to work. It's going to slide. I'll just do it this way. Okay, got that on there. And this one probably doesn't need too much more, but I really like this little... Oh, wait a minute. I see something else. I just use whatever I see on my desk. That's just the way I roll. And I saw this little tiny piece of fabric. So I'll glue this down. I don't have any, oh wait, I have this, okay. I was going to say, I really want another piece of green, but this one, I needed something bolder, so I think this one will do the trick. Alright, this probably makes no sense at all. I'm going to try to edge it, even though it's black, with the brown. There's something about it just feeling complete to me, I guess. Okay. Okay. All right, now I was going to do, I think I'm going to tear this. And then, actually, I'll edge this too. But I'll use my stays on. Okay. All right, so there's my little border. I will make a piece to mount this on later, but I know that's what I'm going to do. Let's see this thing sitting here. It's not really the right color. I guess I'm wondering what happens if I put it on something that's coffee stained once I mount it on that. Yeah, see, I think if I do this, I'm going to put it on a piece of file folder or something and use a strip of this on there. I like that look. Anyway, I'm still thinking about what I want to do. So this will be an edge, and then I'll make it something that wraps around the outside of my page, and then I could probably do another one on the other side. But there's that one. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one off screen, that little purple one I started, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay. This is the other one. I mean, I stamped in black. I don't think that it was particularly effective on this darker color. I had some lighter areas up here where it looks like it works okay. And it depends on the angle I hold it. I can kind of see the darkness, but I did more collage on this one, I guess. I don't know that I would necessarily pick red, but that was what was on the desk, and I think I liked the contrast of it. And then I went ahead and added that little postage stamp down there, which also brings some red in. So it's kind of like purple, blues, and reds, I guess. And then some neutrals. So I stamped with this paint splattered stamp with the bundled sage. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, bundled sage. I'm not good at cleaning my stuff off, so it's actually a mixture of the gathered twigs, I think it was, or I think it was gathered twigs. Anyway, whatever the brown was, and the bundled sage, but I kind of like the look, so that's what both of these have on there, and then I stamped on them black. It was just some vintage scrap edges off of that vintage text I used earlier. And then another little piece of that fabric, and then a little tiny piece of the coffee stain fabric underneath this, because I'm just a texture person, I guess. So anyway, so that's the technique. So I hope you try it. if you don't want to do it as an edge and you want to try it, it'd also make a good belly band. I just think I would reinforce this a little bit. I can't stay on the edge. I feel more comfortable when it's off. So I think that's probably why I like this one in general better, because I don't have the hard, straight edges. But the other one will change once I put it on the background and put a strip of this coffee staining behind it. So anyway, so thank you guys so much.